look at Unit 1. In Unit 1, we have Write Professional Emails in English. In 1.1, we discussed how to draft an email. In 1.2, Basic Professional Email Structures. And in 1.3, Basic Editing of Punctuation, Capitalization, Style and Editing Basics. So we have covered all the three subunits. Moving on, we will be dealing with 1.4, that is write effective subject lines, and 1.5, writing request and apology mail. Welcome back, Communicative English. Today in Unit 1, under 1.4, we will be discussing write effective subject lines, and 1.5, writing request and apology email. Here are some important tips to help you write the most effective subject lines for your emails. So, as discussed in one of the earlier sessions, subject line plays a very important role because that is the place, that is the area where the receiver decides how to take up the email. First one, shorten your subject lines. What good is your subject line if people cannot read it? Often people check emails from mobile devices, swiping right through emails that don't prompt a sense of urgency. So you need to make sure that your subject line doesn't get cut short by keeping it under 40 characters or about 5 to 7 words. Your readers want to scan through your inbox quickly. Sometimes subject lines that use only a word or two can stand out and get the most engagement. Point number 2, avoid spam words in your subject lines. Subject lines are often the most likely to be marked as spam. That means you should avoid loud punctuation like all caps and multiple exclamation points, as well as overtly promotional language like buy now, free. These are surefire ways to have your marketing emails sent straight to the spam folder. Instead of focusing on promotion, try offering your expertise and sharing information your audience will find useful. Moving on, ask open-ended questions in the subject line. So my question to you is, why should we use questions in your subject line? Look, questions are a great way to focus your readers' attention and arouse their curiosity. Questions also feel incomplete on their own. So using a question will always inspire readers to open the email in search of an answer. Example of small subject lines could be strong women, strong girls nailed it with their simple subject line. Who was Wonder Woman's role model? So something like this will definitely help your subject line to be catchy. Include a deadline in the subject. Considering there is no shortage of distractions standing between you and your readers, the deadline tactic creates a sense of urgency that can encourage readers to prioritize your email. A successful promotional strategy for an event or a special offer will likely include a series of emails. You can send out an initial announcement, letting people know about an upcoming date. So, as the deadline approaches, remind users of the promotion in a last chance follow up email. Never be skeptic to make a turnaround time as short as 24 hours. Now or never phrases are often the most successful. Try a teaser subject line to get people to open your email. Think about why people love movie trailers but hate commercials. There is power in drawing people in with a preview rather than giving away the punchline right at the start. Great subject lines do just that. Try to think of something that will hook your readers and spark their interest. Give a clear command in your subject. On the other hand, some people respond best to direct instructions. If your email has a direct call to action, like encouraging people to buy tickets for an event, don't be hesitant to let your subject line reflect that. Share something valuable in your subject line. You might already know that sharing something of value for your audience is a central part of a good content marketing strategy. Think about your subscribers, what their requirements are, and tease a solution to that right in your subject line. Make an announcement right in the subject. So, if you have something new and exciting to share about your business or organization, channel that enthusiasm into your subject line. Although it is hard to craft personalized emails to a long marketing email list, sharing announcements with email subscribers is a great way to boost that sense of personalization, as readers do feel like they are amongst the first to know about this offer. Be unique in the email box. To craft great subject lines, you need to understand two things: who your audience is and what your business can offer them that they cannot get anywhere else. Think about what your business is specifically known for the highlight that in your subject line. Don't be afraid to put your business name right in the subject line, especially if your company is well known. Many people will open emails simply based on the center alone. So don't miss the chance to get reinforced by your specific brand. Tell a joke with your email subject. Most people aren't bursting into laughter while going through your email box. That means if you can write a funny subject line, you are going to get a lot of attention. Okay, so maybe you won't have your audience bursting up in laughter, but you might just be able to convince them to open the email by at least making them smile with a joke that isn't completely cringeworthy. Depending on the tone your business is going for, you can test out some puns or wordplay to get some laughs and engagement out of your contacts. Now, let us move on to the next subunit 1.5, writing request and apology email. So, all of us know how important writing plays a role in today's life since we deal with lots of WhatsApp messages, email messages. So, there are areas where you can be formal, and there are a few other areas where you can be informal. So, taking into consideration, we will discuss how to write an apology email or a request in this particular, no, the following slides. Express your most sincere apologies. This might be an obvious one as it is the main reason you are sending your apology email in the first place. But coming out as sincere is not an easy thing to do. If you get defensive or start beating around the bush by trying to find excuses, your apology will feel fake and forced. Instead of salvaging, you would be hindering the relationship with your customer even more. Own the mistake. This might be the hardest part of your apology email. Owning your mistakes and admitting you were wrong might hurt your ego more than a bit. But remember, you have a chance to redeem yourself here. Taking responsibility for your error, big or small, will help you come out in a much better light in your recipient's eyes. Explain what happened. Your next step will be to explain to your customers what went wrong. Making your clients understand how your actions wronged them is an effective strategy in calming them down. It shows empathy and proactiveness on your part that you really investigated what happened. Remember the second point, don't try to deflect the blame and don't lose sight of your role in the whole ordeal. Present a plan of action. If you highlighted the problem, it is only logical that you need to give a solution to it. Have a clear plan on what your next steps will be to undo any wrongdoing and share it with your customers. By doing so, you create a feeling of trust by showing transparency on how you plan to tackle the problem. Additionally, you are reassuring them that you will stay on top of things in the future and that you can move on having learned a valuable lesson. Try to express that this mistake of yours will ultimately help you build a better business experience for your customers. Ask for forgiveness. Showing some heart and vulnerability can go a long way. It humanizes your business in the eyes of your client and makes them relate to it more naturally. Asking for forgiveness is a good way to underline that you really stand behind your apology. Keep in mind that over apologizing could lead up to further complaint or refund requests as it might plant doubt about your abilities. Provide clients with customer feedback. This part of your email is crucial when trying to retain and even build on your relationship after you have wronged someone. By giving your customers a channel of communication to share their thoughts, you are highlighting your concern for them. Furthermore, you are telling them that their opinion matters when it comes on how you want to improve your business for a better experience in the future. Now that we have explored these essential points that we think would be important, now let us take a look at some of the examples and specific situations that might call for an apology email. So, usually, a defective product or reporting late to work, these are a few of the apology emails that at your workplace you will be sending across. Let's move on to the next topic, writing request email. So, whenever we request something, all of us know that we need to be extremely polite and humble. So, when you write an email, whatever you write has to be more formal. Words like I do request you, I would like to hear from you. It would be really appreciated if you respond to such and such a mail. All these will definitely go a long way in getting your request granted. Whatever said and done, any email sent should have a strong, if it is in the formal tone, it has to be formal without any excuse. So while writing a request email, we need to follow certain norms, and these are discussed in the following slides. Lead with the ask. Think about what will appear in the two-line messages preview. The recipient will see as she scrolls through her inbox. Will it capture her attention? That makes all the difference. Establish your credibility. Why should I care? Is the tacit question hovering in most people's minds as they open an email, especially if it is from someone they don't know. This is why establishing your credibility early on in the message is crucial. Tell your reader why you are different, why you are accomplished, and why they should pay attention to you. If you are asking a question, propose a solution. This was discussed in one of the earlier slides as well. Email is not a good venue for debate. Thus, messages that offer nothing but a question like, "What do you think of X?" are generally ineffectual. Busy people don't want to figure out your problems for you, and they don't want to write a lengthy response. They want to say either yes or no and then move on to the next thing. So, if you want to get a response and to get your way, don't just pose questions, propose solutions. Be scannable. Emails are not about getting results, not testing your recipient's reading comprehension. Use bullets, numbers, and or bolding to make your email skimmable and digestible, emphasizing the key points. If you scoff at this type of spoon feeding of information, go ahead and get over it. Emails are about getting results, not testing your recipient's reading comprehension. Give them a deadline. Is your email urgent? Does it need a response now? In 2 days? In 2 weeks? It may surprise you to learn that busy people love deadlines because they help prioritize exactly when things need to get done. In fact, I have found a few emails that have no timetable and they are more likely to get ignored. You certainly don't want to be imperious or overly demanding, but do give your reader some polite context for timing. When is email not an appropriate form of communication to use? That's my question. Email is not an effective means of communication when your message is long and complicated or requires additional discussion that would best be accomplished face to face. For example, if you want feedback from your supervisor or your work, or if you're asking your professor a question that requires more than a yes or no answer or simple explanation, you should schedule a meeting instead. The information is highly confidential. Email is never private. Keep in mind that your message could be forwarded onto other people without your knowledge. A backup copy of your smile is always stored on a server where it can be easily received and interested parties even when you have deleted the message and think it's gone forever. Your message is emotionally charged or the tone of the message could be easily misconstrued. If you would hesitate to say something to someone's face, do not write it as an email. Strive for clarity and brevity in your writing. Have you ever sent an email that caused confusion and took at least one more communication to straighten out? Miscommunication can occur if a message is unclear or disorganized, or just too long or complex for the readers to easily follow. Let me give you a few steps that you can take to ensure that your message is understood. Briefly state your purpose for writing in the very beginning of your message. Be sure to provide the reader with some context. If you're asking a question, cut and paste any relevant text into the email so that the reader will be able to have a reference to your question. Use paragraphs to separate thoughts, or consider writing separate emails if you have many unrelated points or questions that need to be clarified. Finally, state the desired outcome and at the end of your message. If you are requesting a response, let the reader know what type of response you require. Something that has a due date. Be sure to highlight that due date is a prominent position in your message. Ending your email with the next step can really be useful, especially in work settings. For example, you might write, I will follow this up with a phone call to you in the next day or so. Let's plan to have further discussion in the coming in the next weekend. Something like that will definitely help you. Here, the sway links to both the subunits have been shared. You can have access to the sway links. With this, we have come to an end of the session. Kindly watch all the videos embedded in the MSV and complete the self-assessment by 11:30 hours, same day, to get your attendance recorded. And kindly post any questions for clarification in the discussions from the link available in the student portal. The answers to your questions will be available in the program FAQs repository link. Happy learning and have a great and safe day ahead. Thank you.